XUMGEORGIA, home of the Georgia Bulldogs. We're in Sanford Stadium, between the hedges, one of the best stadiums in all the land, where the Dogs play. Wow, this is big time. It ain't where you're from, it's where you're at today on Portraits. We'll check out Athens, ring the famous chapel bell, and paint the personality of Georgia football head coach Kirby Smart. Hut, hut! Hey, I'm the one they call James Bates, but my real name is Batesy. Welcome to Portraits, where I sit down and talk with some of the biggest names in sports, because you're the huh? Right?
I don't like wearing hats on a 90-degree day.
And capture the color of their unique personalities.
It's hard.
With paint.
He can't beat me. He's got no hope.
I won these. He has really bright eyes.
Gotta have a little credibility when they walk in.
Oh, what's going on, Coach? What are you doing? Talking ball with Coach Mike Leach.
Coach Mike Leach, come on.
Go hit. So, sit back and enjoy today's show. Here we go. Yeah, I kind of jumped off sides a little bit and got started early on my Kirby Smart portrait. I couldn't help it. I was too excited. Went way back to his high school days in Bainbridge, Georgia. Fast forward quite a few years, though, to present day. And now with Nick Saban out of the picture, well, this guy's pretty much the top dog. And not just the SEC, but all the land. You ready? You ready? Ready? Let's go. All right. Deep breath. Let's go. Coach Kirby Smart, thanks for hopping on Portraits with us.
Yep, excited to be here, man. Good to see you.
Growing up in Georgia, you're a Georgia Bulldog, and then you come back here, and not only are you back here, but you're back here and you're helping this program do great things.
Yeah, it's special. I mean, it's really special, the fact that I'm getting to do it at my alma mater. I mean, I think any coach will tell you, once you get in the coaching profession, you no longer control where you might end up. But when you get to do it at your school, the school you played at, the school you grew up in the state, that's pretty cool. And I take a lot of pride in the fact that I played here on this field, and I want to hold it to a standard of, like, we got to be really good. We got to practice the right way. Otherwise, I'm letting down all the guys that I played with.
Dogs are winners. A national championship for a new generation of Bulldogs.
Yeah, winning and Georgia football kind of go hand in hand. Hey, freeze that. You know who that is right there? Yep, high school football coaching legend Sonny Smart, and you guessed it, Kirby's dad. And that's where Kirby began to fill that dome of his with all that great football knowledge when he was an all-star defender for the PURPLEGOLD Purple and Gold Bainbridge Bearcats, baby!
Bainbridge, Georgia. An old town, old river town with a lot of history. The city itself is surrounded by a lot of smaller communities. Great town, people with a lot of pride.
Oh, I love the high school days, the Bainbridge days, the purple and gold, the Bearcat nights. It was just a lot of fun. I felt like the community supported us in everything, whether it was the family, Kirby's success, Sonny's success. We loved Bainbridge.
Kirby Smart lived and breathed football from a very young age. Let me show you. Never pass up a chance to draw. You see, every summer, Coach Sonny Smart busts his Bearcat teams down to Troy State University in Alabama for football camp. When Kirby was in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades, he started tagging along. He'd go with his dad and the team and spend the whole week there in Troy as the team's manager and ball boy. So fast forward a couple years and Kirby Smart was back at camp, but this time as a player.
Kirby was a good athlete, intense competitor, highly motivated, and really smart. He could diagnose the other team by formation, by tendencies, and then he had the physical skills to make the play. He hadn't looked at these pictures in a long time. A lot of good memories there.
Do you find yourself looking back some of the lessons that you learned? I mean, you've been around so many incredible coaches, so many great minds, but going back to your dad as a coach and some things that still stick with you today?
Yeah. I think about the experiences I had of seeing him coach as both a baseball coach and a football coach, which he was very successful at both. He had tremendous experiences. I mean, by the time I was old enough to remember, 10, 11, 12, he had won multiple state championships really in both sports. So those values and lessons I learned of him being a leader and just challenging his teams and his coaches, they've helped me to get where I am today.
We got 4 quarters. We seized momentum on defense by turnovers, getting the crowd into the game, playing with great effort.
Well, you made the right decision on where to go, and here you carry all those values that you learned way back in Bainbridge right here to Athens, and now come full circle, and that's got to be an incredible feeling for you.
It is. I'm proud of my hometown. I'm proud to be from Bainbridge, and really proud that I got an opportunity to come to Georgia and now represent Georgia each and every day I go to work.
Next up, we head north from South Georgia up to Athens and the University of Georgia, where Coach Kirby Smart began his playing days as a dog.
Kirby Smart picks off his second pass of the season
when Portraits returns.
It's a pretty neat spot. It's just a little heavy on Georgia stuff.
Not a bad spot, the clubhouse here on College Square, if that's your thing. Got a few things to take home. We all can agree a visor looks pretty good on a head football coach, and I had to get a little UGA. Hope Hank doesn't get mad, though. Yeah, so Kirby Smart's walked these streets and the sidelines at Sanford Stadium for quite some time. Not just as a head coach, no. As a defensive back. One heck of a defensive back for the Dogs.
Intercepted by Kirby Smart.
The player Kirby Smart was first-team All-SEC his senior season. He finished his career with 13 interceptions. That's the 6th most in Bulldogs history.
Intercepted Kirby Smart.
And he paced the Georgia defense with 6 INTs in '97 and 5 in 1998. And that was tops in the SEC.
And caught an interception by Smart on the ricochet.
I've seen a quote that you said you wouldn't have recruited Kirby Smart, but watch a couple of these against Tim Couch right here.
They're out for the half. Hail Mary.
Couch, he's jump ball. Who's got it? Kirby Smart with the interception.
That's not a great play. That's a smart player play. This is T. Martin. Yeah. That was a big game.
Kirby Smart with outstanding speed there.
What we got here? Oh, she wants to have scored on.
Is this your first pick, Peyton Manning?
Yeah, I think this is the first one.
That's one thing we have in common. We each picked off Peyton Manning.
Oh, you got him too?
Yeah, I got him too.
What a sweet pick it is for James Bates.
Yeah, he seems to remember all the touchdown passes he threw against me after that, and that's the only highlight I had, so I'm glad y'all actually showed that.
Kirby Smart, he's the traffic cop of that defense.
And he is such a good field leader. Joe Gines, the defense coordinator, said nobody even questions what he says on the field.
You've just always been a student of the game, haven't you?
Yeah, that's probably the advantage I have, is I have been a student of the game. So people used to say all the time, oh, he's so lucky. Oh, he's always in the right place at the right time. You make your own luck. You know what I mean? You make luck through effort, opportunity, and I say it all the time. I wouldn't want to sign someone like me, but I'd love someone like me on our team because I was a team player, played hard at the right place at the right time, and you try to make everybody better around you.
I remember we had a scrimmage here, and he returned a kickoff for a touchdown to start the scrimmage, and I was like, dang, guy can run, you know? But that was very impressive to see that on the first scrimmage.
Yeah, I've seen it my whole life. From when we were in school together to now as a coach, you know, everything matters with this guy. One of the most competitive people I've ever been around.
It's on you and your teammate to bring yourself and bring your A game.
He could flip out of being a football coach and go be a CEO of a company tomorrow and be very successful because he knows how to relate with people.
60 minutes or however long it takes. You're doing it for your brother. And don't ever forget that.
And this right here is the arch at the University of Georgia. It stands for wisdom, justice, and moderation. Say, guys, how's about a little moderation with all those football wins, huh? I was reading online that you can't walk through it until you graduate. But that's online. Come on, I'm gonna do it right to their face right now, I swear. Oh. I guess that's true. You know who can walk through this? It's Kirby Smart. He's a card-carrying grad at the University of Georgia. And not too long after graduation, he met up with Nick Saban and began his journey as Coach Kirby Smart.
Longtime assistant for Nick Saban, including at Alabama, where he won 4 national championships.
Nick Saban, how did you kind of get started with him?
I was a GA at Florida State. LSU won a national championship. They lost their secondary coach, and Muschamp was there, so I had a connection in the door, and it was like, you know what, Coach, if you want to be happy, you need to bring somebody in here that won't leave, that will take and put up with you getting on them every day and demanding a lot, and they'll be a sponge. Luckily, Nick saw enough in me after interviewing me to say, you know what, I'm gonna give this kid this opportunity. Every coach that has been really successful had a mentor that was probably just as successful, and you learn from them, right? So I learned from my dad. I learned from Bobby Bowden the years I was at FSU, but I certainly learned a lot about how to run a program, how to run an organization from Nick.
Oh, will you look at this. Georgia's Chapel Bell. Students will line up for hours to ring this thing after a championship. Yeah, it's a nice bell, but they keep winning all these championships. This is gonna be like the Liberty Bell with a big crack in it. We'll be right back. Stay there. More portraits coming up. Whew.
Oh, look at the sugar falling out of the sky. Look at the sugar falling out of the sky.
So success, nothing new for this Georgia Bulldog football program. You go way back, and there's always been winning football teams.
Lindsey's got 45-50, 45-40. Run, Lindsey. He's running over people. Oh, you Herschel Walker.
But here in recent years, especially after Kirby Smart took back over, we've got some good-looking trophies in here. But nothing better than this. Back-to-back national championship trophies. And that's what it's all about.
We just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot and broke their nose.
To start winning championships again. It's got to feel so good to do it right back here in Athens.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what we do it for, right? You're going to have, you know, ebbs and flows and breaks some years that you don't make it, but we feel like Georgia should be in that conversation every year, and we've brought that back to existence because of the way we work. I mean, our kids work hard.
Job's not done until the job's done. You with me? If it takes 60 minutes to change the way they think, that's what we're going to do.
And we set a really high standard of like what it is to be a Georgia Bulldog, and they bought into that.
You've already prepared. The preparing's done now. You get a chance to go out here and perform.
You know, we have something in common, actually. We both married athletes. I married a swimmer. You married a basketball player, which we've heard how much a better basketball player and shooter she is than you.
Absolutely. She's definitely a better basketball player than me. I think she's a better athlete than me.
Tell us about your kids. Is it important for them to be a part of a sport as they come up through high school at least?
Yeah, I think team sports are so huge in terms of counting on others and learning how to socialize. And our kids probably had no hope but to be involved in sports because of the two parents. We got twins. Julia followed in her mother's footsteps and played basketball for a lot of years. She's also on the cross-country team. She plays tennis. And then Weston, he's kind of specialized in tennis, which you have to do to be a good tennis player. My youngest is 11-year-old Andrew, he kind of has the bug. He wants to play them all. So he's football, basketball, baseball. He's into whatever sport's in it that season. I tell you what, they're great kids, and my wife has done a tremendous job with them.
The best thing that I ever did for Kirby Smart was I made sure that he had a really good mother, okay? Because I wasn't there. It's tough to leave your kids and go and do the things that you have to do to be successful, and you're not spending that time with them. But he really does do a great job with his family.
Family is what makes sport worthwhile, because they can come home if they win or they lose, and they know that they're going to have the love and the support at home. You don't have to win a game to be loved at home, because that family will support you.
It's the coolest thing in the world to me. I get to go meet all these incredible personalities, try to capture a lot of that in their portraits.
Like Kirby Smart here in his days as a Bainbridge High School Bearcat.
Of all the success that he's had, one of the biggest goals he's ever had in his entire life was to play for that man and for that team. I could have painted a lot of things of him between the hedges and all those championships, but this stands out to me. Stay right there. We'll be right back with more portraits after this.
Who wants hedges? We got rows and rows of them, don't we? These hedges look a little short, though. You know, in 1996, they had to yank all the hedges out for the Olympics, for the other kind of football. You know, I could probably... I wouldn't do that. But with proper trimming, irrigation, and fertilization, these will grow big and strong. Kind of reminds me of the Georgia football program ever since Kirby Smart's come back to Athens. Oh, man, they've been eating it up.
Their effort is indifferent of what's going on. Whether it's the first snap of the game or the last snap of the game, they're up 50-0.
Let's talk about developing players. You get such talented young men that come in here to play for you, but how do you make sure that they are getting better every single day?
You hold them to a high standard. You hire good people around you. We got so many people that fill these buckets up of what they need. You have to make mistakes to grow as a person. You have to learn discipline, hard work. We try to sell that we're gonna do it really, really hard, and it's gonna pay off in the long run. If you run from hard work, you probably won't fit in here.
No one as a team plays with more fanatical and maniacal effort than Georgia does.
Trust and believe in your brother. Everybody got me? This is what it's about, guys. This team is controlled by the leaders in this room. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you.
You hear people tell recruits, don't go to a school for the coach. We all know when you're being recruited, you have a connection with that coach.
What Kirby Smart has built is what makes this team special, the culture of each other.
Love this team. Love you guys, what you do every day at practice. Everybody in this room needs to buy in and help each other. We need each other. All right, guys, let's touch somebody. Grab somebody you love. Grab somebody you love. Connected, we do this thing. Connected, we do it.
Family, that's what makes everything worthwhile. Of course, we love that he's doing what he wants to do. This is a picture of Kirby Smart watching a football game when he is probably not even 3 years old. Nobody would believe this, but I've got a picture of it.
I've always aspired to be a head coach. As the son of a high school coach and the best English teacher in the world.
This was an assignment Kirby had me for 10th grade English. His perfect day, watch Georgia beat FSU for a national championship. That was his #2 thing he wanted to do that day.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad, for the example you set for me. I've thought about this day all my life. I don't think words can express how honored and privileged I am to stand before you as the head coach of the University of Georgia. But the most important thanks goes to my best friend, my teammate and partner for life, my wife. Without you, MB, none of this would be possible.
He and Mary Beth have such a special relationship, and those 3 children are just wonderful. And I love seeing him run to Mary Beth and seeing those kids, and then he'll look for me. Sonny is on the sidelines most of the time, and he'll find me and give me that hug, and that just makes it all worthwhile.
He treated people fairly, had good relationships with people, was honest. I would want him to feel like that he did the best he could do. And I think he will be able to do that.
If you know football, you know the name Vince Dooley. And just recently, we lost him. How special is that name to this program and to you?
He epitomizes what this program stands for. He put Georgia on the map. It's impossible to match that. What you want to do is try to give to his legacy. And it's not just the football contributions. I just hope in my span that I can do half of what he's done for the community in Athens and the state. He's incredible what he gave back.
Maybe one day around these parts, you'll see a Kirby Smart statue, just like this one. Or maybe not. Either way, you'll have a portrait. Oh, there you go. Coach Kirby Smart. Hey, Siri, how do I tell them that Kirby Smart's a hell of a coach and a good dude without having to turn in my Gator card?
That's not possible.
Well, bottom line, he's an interesting cat, isn't he? Bearcat, I mean, dog. I mean, you get it. He's always had that dog in him.
Intercepted Kirby Smart.
His time at the University of Georgia has already been legendary as a player and now as a coach. And unfortunately for the rest of us, you kind of get a sense that he's just getting started. Hope you enjoyed getting to know more about Coach Kirby Smart, and I hope you enjoyed Portraits. We always enjoy bringing it to you. We'll see you next time.